Gratitude, not just the polite thank you, but the kind that reaches deep down into your heart, rearranges your perspective, and reminds you that there is something more and you can still rise from wherever you are. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dream Then Do podcast. And yes, today we'll be talking about gratitude. So a lot of times when we say gratitude, the first thing that comes to our minds are the goals we have achieved, those ones that we wrote down, those big dreams we had maybe at the beginning of the year, and then it's getting to the end of the year. We're at the end of the year already. At the end of the year, you think back to January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and all that, and you think of all the big things you've accomplished and you are grateful for them. But what if I tell you there is another part of gratitude that is a strategy? Now, this is not just about the ones that or the things that you have accomplished. You can be grateful for the things you've accomplished. You can be grateful for those you've not accomplished but have taken steps towards. And that's what we're talking about today. Now, choosing gratitude doesn't mean that everything in your life is perfect. No, it actually means you choose to take note of the things that are working, no matter how small they are, and you choose to be grateful for them. One thing ingratitude does, it blinds your eyes from things that are working. I think I was studying a scripture in the book of Matthew. I can't remember the exact chapter, but it was talking about giving, and it says that Jesus was saying that he that has, or something like that, would be given in abundance, but he that hath not, even that which he hath will be taken away from him. So a lot of times you see people being in despair and you wonder what the cause may be. It's not necessarily because they do not have, but it's because they have viewed that which they have as nothing and then chosen to actually stay in despair. From the scripture I just stated, you would understand that it says, he that hath not, that which he had shall be taken away from him. So it means there is something that ungrateful person or that person that says, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. There is something that person has, but because the person assumes or feels that that thing that he has is not enough or it's little, the person actually loses it. That's what ingratitude does. It shuts your eyes from seeing what is working in your life, and beyond shutting your eyes from seeing what is working in your life, it makes you lose that which you already have. And that's why it's important, guys, that as the year comes to an end, we dwell in gratitude. Just think back to the beginning of this year. Think of all the dreams you had. You may not have had dreams, but think of all the things that you wanted to do. Now, the truth is, you may not have accomplished all these things, but I'm very sure that you may have taken steps towards them. And that's what I want you to be grateful for. Not necessarily the big steps, not necessarily the accomplished goals, but for the fact that you took steps towards accomplishing those dreams or desires you had in mind. That is something to be grateful for. Gratitude is that reset button that you didn't think you need. Gratitude increases you. Now, growth may not always be loud, and I've said it before. Success is not only measured in the number of wins you've had. Success can also be measured in your faithfulness. And when you are actually grateful for how faithful you've been towards accomplishing a certain goal or towards taking a certain step, you actually see that your life changes. Ingratitude blocks your vision. Ingratitude creates fear. Ingratitude creates pressure. It makes you compare yourself. So you get to see yourself and wonder, oh, this person is doing this and this person is doing this. Why am I not? That's ingratitude speaking. Instead of actually comparing yourself, why don't you see or list at least 5 things that you believe you have worked towards? You may not actually have the finished results yet, but those 5 things you've actually started, those 5 things you've taken steps towards, and be grateful for them. One magical thing about gratitude is it multiplies you. All you have to do is take note of the little wins and little answers. Say you prayed for progress and It came in small steps, but you missed that because you were looking and waiting for the big announcement. Or you prayed for clarity and it came in a conversation, but you missed that as well because you were waiting for a loud answer. You asked for a new season and it came in habits, different habits, but you also missed that as well because you're waiting for the loud bang. Now you have to be intentional about your life. You have to take every moment, seize every moment, take note of every change occurring, and as long as it's actually moving you forward, it may not be there yet, but be grateful for it. This is what happens when you are grateful for little things. It multiplies. So let's take Jesus, for example. All they had was just 5 loaves of bread, and he had a multitude. But here's what gratitude does. It multiplies. Bible says, and Jesus gave thanks. And after giving thanks, he broke it and he gave it to the disciples and they shared it to the multitude. And not only was it sufficient to feed the multitude, there were 12 baskets extra. Another thing gratitude does is it makes you attractive. Now, people are drawn to people who are always grateful, who see the beauty in mess, who celebrate others, who do not take relationships or people or moments for granted. You become magnetic. And when people feel safe around you, they tend to root for you. So gratitude also makes your relationships softer, richer, and more meaningful. It heals you, it strengthens you, and it prepares you for the next chapter. So today, guys, think of at least 3 things you are grateful for. And I do not mean the big things that you've accomplished. You don't need anyone to tell you to be grateful for that, yeah? So think of those little things that you are grateful for and choose gratitude intentionally and consciously. Choose to be grateful for these things. Choose to be grateful this week and watch how you don't just become happier, you actually will begin to glow differently. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode of the Dream Then Do podcast, and see you next Thursday. Bye.